Hi PSAers, I've been asked to get on camera and to share with you some of the tips and tricks and habits and things that work and things that might help you look better when you're presenting your social media videos or presenting yourself on camera. So some of the things of how you can do some of your setup, some of the things that can help you look a bit better when you're on screen. So let's kick that off, shall we? First thing you need to decide for yourself, folks, is how camera ready do you need to be? Are you jumping in on somebody else's show? Are you doing a piece that isn't necessarily so formal? Is it a more relaxed look into your lifestyle of where you are and how you work? Is it something where you need to be looking a little bit more professional here, folks? And if that's the case, you need to first of all think about the angle. Notice how this time I'm looking up to the camera rather than looking down to it. And also start thinking about what's going on behind you. And then decide for yourself, is it really appropriate for a professional piece to be in your pajamas? Decide for yourself. Do you want to be comfortable in your home studio, or do you want to be more formal? Do you have a brand colour like I do that shows that's part of your show, your branding? And then most of all, at least, even if you're not doing the full face of makeup because you're jumping on somebody else's show, at least have your powder. And gents, this is the minimum you need to do to stop yourself from shining. Have the powder on the nose and get the lippy. Ladies, get the lippy on. And note, when you wear pale lipstick, it doesn't stand out so much on screen. We look at the golden triangle when we watch people on screen. So this is the area that needs to be clear, that needs to make the connection to your viewer on the other side. So with a slightly darker lipstick and some spray to keep that hair out of the way, next thing we need to look at is where we want to actually put our camera. What's the right backdrop to have around us? What might be a bit too distracting? And what can work? I'm going to show you the backdrop in a moment, but before we do that, first thing is to get some light on the scene. Now, whether you use professional lights such as this one, or whether you use workman's lights like the one behind me here, the trick with them is to set them up in a way that they're never facing directly onto your face, whether it's little small ones or ones like my portable kick light here. You want to have the lighting so that it actually bounces off other surfaces. I've got a white wall in front of me, so I bounce the light off the white wall and it gives a far more natural feel to the lighting around me. You can use lamps, you can use cheap little portable things, but bounce them back so they're never directed straight onto your face. And if you have a backdrop, my photographer friend said, stop with all these videos where you're shining lights onto a backdrop and creating a halo of light around your head. It doesn't help you look great. It just lights the backdrop. And what's that for? You need to have the light and for you to be the shining light on your screen. And talking of the backdrop, here's the one that I use. It takes a little bit to get it up, but let's see how fast we can do it. And then move the camera for it to be in the right place for you. So there we are, a multitude of sins hidden behind the pop-up backdrop. Yay! You can even get these branded on different sides with your logos, and you can even get some that go behind the back of your chair. Check them out on Amazon. The next thing to look at is the tripods that you actually use to hold your camera. Now, anybody's seen me running around at Live and at Mega, they've probably seen me running around with a selfie stick. Last year, it was one of these, which when you hold on to it, folks, you always want to hold on to it nice and firm, fixed in, just in case you're ever doing a video out and about on the streets. And you move the camera on the end with your body. That way, when you're looking at the camera at the end of the selfie stick, as you move, all of you is moving with it. That way you avoid the wobbly camera holding by having this going on, and the total selfie sticks to avoid, folks, are these ones. These little spindly ones. Can you hear the rattle that's going on in there? And for anyone who saw me at Live, my latest new toy, the Cool Hada. Koolehaoda. K-O-O-L-E-H-A-O-D-A. I will post all of these down as links in the bottom here too, which has a screwable, oddable, offable little tripod base there, and also reaches up to be a full-size standing tripod. So this is my favourite toy at the moment. Look, it's still going. It's still going. So these are the ones for being out and about, and you can even get little clamps to go on your tripods, folks, that you can have if you only have one light, and you can have the light from one side, slightly from the other. Think of a portrait photographer. One light slightly different from either side. It's a little bit more interesting to look at for your viewers. So this is a simple clamp that goes on to a full tripod stand, and that can mount your lighting on there. Or it can also mount whatever you need it to mount. It can mount a microphone holder if you need to do so. So whether you are out and about using those, your selfie sticks or your monopods, when you are in your studio, you want to have your camera steady. At the moment, I have this mounted onto a little desk tripod like this. So this is one that literally just sits on your desk, and it happens to be without extending the right height for me to present to you. Again, tripods to avoid, folks. Whoops, she says with one falling off the end of the desk. These are the little spindly tripods to avoid, but you may also have seen these fantastic little tripods that, no, that's aluminium, so it's not going to be magnetic onto there, but you can get little ones like this that are magnetic that you can actually attach sideways onto the side of a fridge or onto a lamppost when you're out and about as well. The next thing after thinking about your lighting and your setup is, which microphone do you use? Now, having gone through pro microphones with fluffy things, little plug-in microphones to go with your smartphones, to desk microphones, this is the one that I love, the Blue, all of the Blue brand. I love this. This is my big microphone for doing all my live stream shows, and that actually has a USB connection straight into my computer. But when I'm using the iPhone like I am right now, which is also what I use to do most of my filming when I'm out and about, there are two microphones that I keep coming back to. The first is the Rode SmartLav microphone, and it has the restriction is it only has a 1 meter cable. So you've only got this much distance that you can be away from your camera. So to top that one, the second one I bought was this. This is the Boya, and it has a little condenser here that you're enabled to swap from your smart camera, your smartphone, to an actual camera. You flick the switch and it works for both cameras. Now this normally has a little lapel clip that you can clip on here. Remember, you don't want it too close to you, you don't want it too far away from you. And you'll hear the difference in a moment when I plug in one of these microphones. And when you do put a microphone on, keep it away from necklaces and from jewellery and from things that make too much noise as well. So that's a quick tip about the sound, and you'll hear the difference now. Mic test, mic test, mic test. Click, click, click. Can you hear the necklace? Keeping it away from the necklace, and we're making sure you're not wearing material that's too scratchy that you can hear the microphone on. And always do this. Mic test, mic test, mic test, and check that your sound is actually working. From that, you can hear immediately that there is a less tinny quality to the sound coming through the microphone rather than using it from the phone itself. And also, if I move backwards and I move forwards, or if I had a friend who was going to join me here and be interviewed, then we would be able to share the microphone between the two of us. And even with that, you get a much, much better sound quality than you do without the microphone. So on that note, remember, look up to your viewers, look up to your camera. Remember, the lighting, the setup, the sound, it's all important. And if the only things that you can do to start off is to dress you, your set, your lighting and your sound, then those are the first places to start. Then your confidence on camera, in the way in which you want to display it, will be there for you to discover with your framing, your focus, and your own sense of fun.